Hi, I'm Bonnie Burd, here for the new community chat at New Earth AC. And we're just bringing on people who are in the community and that are doing a lot of light work and doing some amazing things. And we really want to bring them on and highlight their gifts and their abilities and just get to know our community. This is our very first one, so I'm excited to be here with Julia Stubbe, good friend.
Hello.
And so Julia.
Thank you, Bonnie, for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. So go ahead and tell everyone a little bit about yourself. I mean, I could read about you, but I think you do a little better job than I do. Unless you want me to read about you, I can do that.
Well, if you want to add anything afterwards, I like to say that I facilitate healing for new earth inner beings, and that I want to empower others to empower themselves to heal, because I've been on this journey of healing myself or becoming whole probably for over 30 years. And with doing that, it keeps my channel really clear. So my connection to source is clear, so that when I'm channeling information for other people or facilitating energy healing for other people, my stuff doesn't get in the way. So it's really pure as far as that goes. So it's like, I actually don't do anything. I just facilitate. I really like to emphasize that, because the energy and the information comes through me and then goes to my client or the group, that whatever I'm facilitating for.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a mistake that everyone makes when they say healer, because really we're not healers. We hold space, and we are a channel of the divine. Because I'm also a healer too, or I would say somebody who holds space for the person to heal. And it's just that you were brought here. This is what you were brought here to do, and so you just follow your guidance, and you channel the divine, and all that stuff comes easy to you, because I've seen a lot of your work, and I think a lot of it's really amazing. What's your favorite thing that you do, or the thing that comes the easiest? So it's almost like,
oh, I don't know. It just depends on the moment. I mean, I channel light language or star language. I have my galactic, my 85 team, which I've been working with for years, and they're beings, benevolent beings of a higher dimension, higher vibration of divine love or higher. That's one of the criteria to participate in the group. And they're interdimensional beings or multidimensional beings from way beyond this galaxy, as well as within this galaxy. And the energy that comes through with them is really amazing. But I just like to have fun. I like to play in the energy as far as that goes. So, working with groups and the group energy, and to see the magic that happens in other people's lives. One of the things I did want to go back when you said, when you use the label healer, and you claim, for those who claim to be a healer and that they're healing you, what you're doing is, if you go to someone like that, you're giving your power away, because you do have that innate power within yourselves to heal, and you just need somebody to hold the space. And when you claim that, like, if I would claim to be a healer, then I limit the possibilities, because it's only what I can fathom. Whereas if I am just the channel for source, the universe, the possibilities and the miracles are amazing. And you have to really detach yourself from the results, because otherwise you're claiming that you are doing something for them. And if you detach yourself from the results and not how it shows up, or even if it shows up, that also is really empowering to the other individual, because that allows that magic to happen, so to speak, if that makes any sense.
It does make sense, because I don't think there's any session that I've ever done that was the same as another. So you're holding the space, and you're inviting their higher self, their guides and angels, all of your guides and angels, and it's just facilitated, and you're just holding the space along with the angelics, or whoever it is you're working with.
The galactics and the angelics.
Yeah. It seems like I end up working with them all. You never know, as long as it's of the light.
Yeah, you never who's going to show up, because it's like, if your client, depending on who your client works with, their team could be totally like outside your realm. So you really have to be really open. But you still, for me personally, I still bring in that criteria of divine love or higher, because we want to do that. We want to clear or transmute the energies of the lower vibration beings for that individual. So it's like, it's, you know, for grounding and clearing your shields, your fields as far as that goes, so that you want those energies to not stay attached to the being. So if your client or you are really a high level empath, or even just a in between empath, it's really important to do that clearing and grounding especially.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So, I mean, because this page is all about the new earth and ascending your consciousness, what would you think is the most important thing to creating the new earth? What would be the thing that you would do that you would think that
I would recommend everybody be kind. Like, just be kind and be compassionate for one another, and realize that everybody has a different reality and they see things differently, and we all are here and we all have to play the role that we came. So even if you don't agree with someone else's role, is to at least have that compassion and respect that that's what they're doing here, to either do something that totally triggers you, to make you look within yourself, or to make others look within, so that we can move further onto this higher level of consciousness.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, just, you know, try to not be the unity and not try to divide yourself because of other people's belief systems, because, you know, it really doesn't, they don't have to believe the way you believe. It's okay. You have to come to that conclusion that it's okay, you know?
And one of the things I always say, it's none of my business what other people think of me, because if I start worrying about what everybody thinks of me, then I'm giving my power away. So when you're worried about doing, oh, I have to do the right thing because, oh, so-and-so will think this or so-and-so will think that, you really are limiting yourself. You're giving your power away. So it's really to look within inside yourself, and really love yourself of who you are, and allow your authentic self to really, really sparkle and shine.
Yeah. Pretty cool. So, do you want to let some of the people know some of the classes and some of the things that you offer? You know, just to let people know where they can find you at and all that.
Okay, I can do that. So I have personal sessions, which I enjoy, but I also enjoy the group work a lot more, because you're working with the energies of the group, and it really brings in a higher vibration. So I do group transformation program, which is already started, and I'll be running another one probably in April. But right now, what I'm really looking forward to is the end of February. I have these energetic quantum clearing and healing sessions. So we're going to be clearing, releasing the J seals, and we're going to be releasing crystal implant threads, and we're going to be realigning different portals as far as within your body, so that you can be actually getting full information. Actually, I should probably give you the description, because I'm just like, I wasn't expecting to like really talk about this.
Yeah, it's all about you. It's all about you, Julia.
Okay, well, so the crystal implant system removal is from the times of when we were incarnated in the Lemurian, the Atlantean, the Mu, and during certain starseed incarnations, we actually had these implants put into our physical bodies. So now in the realms now, they're out there in our etheric bodies. So they're limiting our possibilities as far as what information can be awoken in our DNA and the coding as far as that goes. So when I remove these, I've done this with myself. I've had this process done years ago. They look like little tiny crispy lights. So when I'm pulling them out, they're in through all your systems, through your chakras, through your nervous system, through your glands, your endocrine system, your hormonal system. So we actually pull them all out, and then the Atlantean crystals are like actually a little bit bigger, and they're different colors. They show up as different colors for me, and they are actually mainly in your chakra system. So that's one of the out of the module that we're going to start with, and there's 3 others. The second one is we're going to do an aspect of soul merge, and we're going to then release the J seals. And the soul merge is where we have these there's a total of 12 incarnations of the soul. And we were talking about this a little bit earlier. So if you don't mind, I'll read my
Yeah, let's just
description
go
of
on with
that
this because this
again.
is so interesting to me.
Yeah, so let me read this about this. So the tree of consciousness and the fact that you exist implies that there are 11 other physical incarnates being in different time space locations as part of your soul integration. Your soul is a plural with 12 faces, as in is part of a larger identity called the oversoul, and is composed of the 12 souls, each with their 12 incarnate identities. So you are dealing with 144 incarnates in your immediate oversoul family. And the process that I do is I merge those 12 incarnate of, I assist you in merging those 12 incarnate aspects of your soul so that you can become that whole being, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So we'll do that. And then with the J seals, we're going to, let me get to that information. The J seals or the Japovian seals are the energetic distortions that are energetically placed by the Jehovan and Anunnaki on the excitational line 7 of the earth. The earth is also put within your body as far as that goes. So these seals, these J seals are on the left-hand side of your body, and they go through different areas of your body. And I was actually working with a test part as far as that goes, and when with a test client as far as just to see how it was, because I've done it for myself and I just wanted to see her experience of it. And she said when we were releasing it, like at the crown, she could, it felt like wax melting all over. So it was like really an interesting experience for her because of the seals as far as that goes. So when you're releasing these, you're also releasing the pieces of it that are within the earth, because what's happening with you is also happening with the mother as far as that goes.
Yeah.
And what's what we're going to do here with the merging of the aspects of soul combined with that, we're going to be doing this with each aspect of your soul as well, not just the current aspect of the incarnate that you are now. So that's the second one.
Right.
Like, and as I look to my right, the third one is a portal clearing and a realignment of past lives. And in this, we'll be releasing and clearing past life patterns, as well as accessing the knowledge as how to overcome these patterns in previous incarnations. So that's it in a nutshell. On my website, there's more detail as far as, you know, what we're going to be going into. And the fourth is the multi-dimensional bridge alignment. And that's where one of my gifts is that I can create bridges of whether you want to talk to somebody that's passed over, somebody that's currently here, and you want to connect with their higher self and have a conversation. So I'm going to do that multi-dimensional bridge alignment for you so that it'll be easier for you to connect in the different dimensions.
Oh, that's amazing.
And that starts on February 27th, and it runs every Saturday. So there'll be a different session each Saturday. You can do a separate session, or you can do all four. A single session is $77 US dollars, and all four is only $222. So you're getting a real bargain if you do all four. And if you can't participate, you would get the recording, but you would get the recording. You have access to the recording as well anyhow.
Wow.
So that's what Spirit guided me. And this is just the first of several modules, because there's several other things they will have me doing. And it's exciting because this is stuff that I've worked with myself over the years. And I've always been told that the populace or that are not quite ready for all this yet, because it's really high vibrational and it's really going deep, and it's really going to bring you to a really higher conscious level. And so it just blows me away every time when I sit with this. What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to be of service? And that's what it is. And with the, oh, by the way, one more thing, these are limited. So there's only a max of 12 people that can sign up. And right now I think I have 8 openings left. That's how quickly it's going. So
how I explain to people, like, because I know not everybody gets downloads and they just suddenly have these the knowledge of, you know, what happens. How do you know that you're getting an idea, or they're giving you something to teach other people, or a new gift to help people with? Does it come to you in pieces or all at once, or?
Sometimes it comes in pieces, and I have conversations with Source or Spirit all the time. Like I did the last transformational group I had, it's like they had me do this process that was really high end. Like I would never put a newbie and do this to a newbie, because you have to do these layers as far as that goes. And I'm like, are you serious, dudes? You got to be kidding me. And they're like, this group can handle it. And I'm like, okay. And it's like, so what are we doing? And it's like, so I write this down and I sit with it. And then I will follow the breadcrumbs. It's like, oh, okay. It's like, and it's like, so it's like, I might do a little more research, like, oh, well, what's this all about? Oh yeah, I've done that, but something else. Okay. Or what is this? And that's how it gets developed as far as that goes. Cause I sit with it. And when I mean sit with it, is I get in my quiet space, in my heart space, and I really connect with source, and I bring in my team, and it's like, okay, show me what I can facilitate that would be of the greatest good in this time and place.
Yeah, that sounds similar to my process when I'm doing a new class. It seems like, I like to do a little research. I like to add to it, and it makes sense to me how you're doing it, putting the breadcrumbs together, and then all of a sudden it turns into something really amazing. And then when you go to do the class, then they spin it again, put something else in. You're like, oh wow,
yeah. It's never,
surprise.
Yeah. It's like, you've really got to set back from the result, because it's like, if you have it, oh, I've got an outline, I've got to do this, and then like, oh no, that doesn't work ever. It's like you have the concept, you get in the space. It's like, okay, here we go. This is what we're doing. And the information gets channeled through while you're doing these processes. So you don't have, because you're surrendering to source and spirit, but you brought in that of, it's got to be higher dimensional, benevolent beings of that, that vibration of divine love or higher. So you have to really trust that, and you're just the vessel. And I have a thing about channeling. So what they show me is channeling, and they go, so Julia, you do know, it's like driving a car. Sometimes you're in the driver's seat and they channel through you while you're driving. So you really kind of still know what's going on, but you're a little distracted. And then sometimes you're in the passenger seat and it's like you're channeling and you're kind of seeing where you're going. So you have kind of a concept of what's going on around you, but you're a little bit more engrossed in the scenery, the channeling, da 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 da. And then they put you in the back seat, and it's like you have no idea really what's in front of you. You're still in the vehicle, you're channeling, and it's happening, but you really have no control of what's going on around you. And then they throw you in the trunk, and it's like, oh my gosh, what's going on here? It's like, I know I'm doing I'm doing something here. And then sometimes you're not even in the vehicle. It's like sometimes it's like I have times where I lose time, and it's like, was I in the vehicle? Were you channeling through me? Because I've had that happen where, somebody says, do you remember this? And it's like, what? No. So that happens
for recordings.
Well. Yeah, thank goodness for recordings, because it's like you don't always know. So it's really important to have those parameters as far as, especially the higher dimensional benevolent beings, that they're the only ones that are allowed to channel through you, of that higher, again, I can't stress that enough, that higher vibration, divine love or higher, because I've had it where I've had other people's ancestral line or galactic team have channeled through me, and they weren't of the higher vibration. And I literally was whacked for like 4 or 5 days after, trying to clear all that energy, because yeah, and you may see and you may think, oh, this is a beautiful light being, I don't need to check that. There's tricksters, there's energy tricksters out there that will come in and say, oh, I'm this, I'm that, and they're not. And so it's really important for you to say, only benevolent beings of that high vibration of divine love or higher. Because even on my 85 team, which is, there's 85 different beings, when I put that rule in place, they said, well, there's a couple of us that aren't that. And I'm like, well, that's the rule. So they said, that's okay. We've got a waiting line. They're waiting to get in line and play in the group with you. And I'm like, fine, as long as they've hit the criteria now, that's okay. So even within that group, they were pretty still high up as far as the vibration goes, but they didn't fit the exact criteria.
Yeah.
So we have that power within us to really state what is allowed to channel through us. And it's really important to take a look at that. Go ahead. I'm
It really
sorry.
makes sense, though. It really makes sense. You know, because when you first begin the channel, and you are a little nervous about who's talking to you in the first place, if they're not if they're not talking to your heart, so, you know, your heart feels it. Your heart can tell it. Then immediately you say, if you're not of the light, then you shouldn't be here. And it's just a lot of a lot of searching. I mean, when you begin, you're kind of nervous to begin with, so you really, just by saying if you're not of the light, it's probably the easiest way to do it. Then if you're not of the light and the highest vibration, then I don't want you in my group. It's like you said, it's probably the easiest way to do it, you know.
Mhm.
But you kind of go round and round when you first start, because you're a little nervous. You're like, who's talking to me? Even if they say they're
Well, and you're also excited.
yeah.
You're also very excited. It's like, cool, look what's happening. Look what's happening. And it's like, yeah, it is exciting, but it's like, there's tricksters. There are tricksters out there.
Exactly. Robin's on here saying, how come we're not live? And I'm telling her the internet's failing. The internet's failing. So this is recorded. I know it was supposed to be live, and I apologize to everyone out there, but we knew it when we were chatting before we came on, that my internet was really weak and it just wouldn't hold the broadcast. So today we're recording. Hopefully in the future we won't have this problem. But yeah, so we'll be putting it up as soon as we can, as soon as we get done with the recording. So anyway, so this is fun talking about channeling, because it's a lot of people in the higher energies. That's what they're doing now. They're really getting into talking to their angels, talking to their higher self, bringing their I am presence down. So what would be your advice for someone who wants to channel, to step into that?
Well, you have to really start looking at yourself, within yourself, as far as that goes, to really clear yourself. So it's about like that inner work that you really need to do. I'm not saying you can't channel if you don't do that, but to really bring in those high vibrational beings, then that's really important as far as that goes. Like I run what I call my Apple flow energy, like 2 or 3 times a day. I actually have a video. I have a YouTube channel, and it's out on my video, and it's bringing your balances and your energies in perfect balance. And I run that 2 or 3 times a day to really keep my vibration, keep myself grounded, and to keep my fields clear so that I can. But the other thing I will say is, when you are channeling, it's important to be really grounded, and really connected and anchored into the earth, because you're holding a lot of light. And the story that I use is, if your neighbor's power went out and they had an electric generator, even though the gas, but we're going to just say electric generator, and they asked if they could plug this into your house, into your outlet, and if it just had a 2-prong, plug, would you let them plug this huge generator into your house? What's going to happen if you do that?
Right.
You're either going to blow the generator out, blow your circuits out in the house, as well as that goes. So it's really important to have the grounding, with that you're really grounded, because that allows you as a holder of light to hold more and more light and energy. I know years ago I used to so probably 27 years ago I started astral traveling, and it was fun. I loved
I have a
it.
question
'Cause
about
I did-
astral traveling. So when you get done with your story, remind me, okay?
Yeah, I'll try to. So, and in the beginning, it's like, it was a little scary, because it's like I had the paralysis where I couldn't speak because I wasn't in my body, but I was outside my body. And so I just started playing with it in my room. So I would like, oh, I can do a somersault. Oh, I was doing a somersault.
Wow.
And then, ooh, I can walk downstairs. Ooh. And then it's like, ooh, I can walk through doors. oh, this is interesting.
Whoa.
Ooh, and then, ooh, I can go out and I can fly. Ooh, then I was
That's the
excited.
best part.
Then I was excited. I started
You're sitting
flying,
on
and
top
then
of your house looking around. That's cool.
I was like, it was like, I was like going there, and it's like, and then I remember the first time, it's like I was going into the water and ocean. And I was panicking because I didn't think I could breathe. Then I realized I could breathe underwater. I'm like, wow, how cool is this? This is really freaking amazing. And it's like, so I would be astral traveling all the time. And because I loved it. And I didn't really like being in my body because it was really uncomfortable, because so I wasn't grounded. I wasn't, and I'll admit that. And that's when it's like, but I wasn't physically, it's like it was affecting my health as far as that goes too, as far as things go, because it was burning me out on that level. So in the meantime, I did learn to ground some, and I would ground partially, but I was still like, I would just be out there. And see, I'm talking probably 10 years ago. So 10 years ago, spirit or source, my source said, okay, we're clipping your wings, no more astral travel for you. And I was like, so I was like, I was a little sad, and they explained it to me, and they said, Julia, you are to be carrying so much light and energy. And if you do not ground yourself, you're not going to be able to hold this light and maintain your physical being on this planet.
Yeah.
So I honored that. And just recently, in the last 18 months, I've been allowed to do some astral travel. I don't do it on a regular basis. I just do it every once in a while. And I still have fun, but it's like I'm also having a lot of fun being in this physical body on this planet, much more fun than I did, 30 years ago. And really, really enjoying life and being in joy and being in bliss. So that's my choice. But it's like I had to learn how to fly to get my wings clipped so that I could fly in a whole different way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. But my question to you was, a lot of people ask this question. What's the difference between astral traveling and journeys?
Oh, well, astral travel and journeys is, well, let's see if I can, because I can journey all the time. Journey is where you're actually in your mind and you're using your imagination and you see things and everything. Astral travel, you are there. It's like you feel the things that are happening at a different level, and you actually have more control about what's going on. At least I do when I astral travel. It's the feeling might be similar, but I think astral travel is a little more intense, because it's like what I'll do is like, it's like I'll be there, and it's like there'll be these beings, and I'll have conversations with them, and I'll talk to them, and I'll say I'm going to just go explore. And it's like, and I go explore, and it's like, and I can actually guide where I'm going, because it's like sometimes it's like I really wanted to connect with source or with God, the universe, and I would go down through these amazing places, and this was with astral travel, to get to like these different halls of light. And like with journey, I think a journey is where I guide people more so, or I guide myself, that I have a set intention. And I'm really conscious. I'm not in that state. It's like astral travel, I'm completely out of my body.
So,
but I'm grounded. I have that grounding core.
What would you call?
It's hard to
differentiate. That's the reason why I'm picking it apart. So what would you call when someone goes into Akashic Read and they go in and they do healings similar to what I do, and they go and they look at the life, and you're actually going through portals and you're going there? Would you call that astral traveling, or is that?
I think you're really conscious. You're still way in your body as far as that goes. So you are like, you're in your mind and in your brain, in your 3D body, going down that lane. Because astral travel, it's really different. So you actually feel yourself.
Thinking like you're just.
I feel myself.
I feel when you're
you're just going through the
DNA records that you're in.
Yeah,
the body.
Yeah, because when I astral travel, it's like my physical body is like laying in the meditative state, and I can actually see my body.
Yeah, I've done that before. That's scary. When you don't do it on purpose. You just
Yeah,
step
so
out
you
and
can
you're looking
see it.
down.
Yeah, you step out and you can see the body, you can see what's going on where you're when you're doing the journeying and you're doing the Akashic record read that I do as like you, it's like I'm in my body. It's like I'm totally in my body, but I'm in my heart space connected to my divine brain so that I can actually see what's going on. So you know, it's like, and my physical body is active and it's there and it's like it's participating. So when I do astral travel, my physical body is totally zip.
It's just meditate. It's just, it's like turning the
It's just
computer
a
on
whole
pause.
different level. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like a whole different level because you're actually taking that energy, that soul energy, which is you, and you're traveling to other planes. But in the consciousness wave, when you're doing the journeying and you're also going, well, when you go into your heart, that's when you meet your guides and your angels and stuff like that.
Hmm.
That's it's a portal for them. It's for them to come to you. um, and so a lot of people ask that question, if I'm doing all these journeys, if I'm doing all these meditations, if I'm doing Akashic records, what is the astral traveling and how do I know the difference?
Well, for me, and it might be different for other people, but for me, how I differentiate is that I'm totally out of my body. And it's like, it's like I step out, it's like, oh, there's my body. Okay, bye. It's like,
Yeah, it's
so,
not,
and
it's,
it was scary. It was scary the first couple times. It really was. Cause I was like, what the heck is this about?
yeah, because I had experience one time when I was sleeping and I was just like floating through the house and I was ending up in different places and I didn't realize you had to think yourself anywhere. I was just being and floating. And then when I got back into my body, I was like, what was that all about? That was just
Hmm.
crazy.
Yeah.
And I used
Yeah.
to
The first couple.
fly all the time, fly, just be free when I was
Mhm.
sleeping at night. Yeah. But I don't
Yeah.
think I got
Yeah.
really
Cause,
obsessive like you did though.
well, that's because I really didn't like being in my body. I
Well,
really
I
like
think it
being
was
out in the
because
other realms.
I really didn't know what I was doing. I didn't realize that's what I was doing. So maybe if I understood it, I might have done it more, but I just was accidentally doing it somehow.
Yeah, because when I first did it, like I said, I started like, okay, what I'm outside my body, what can I do here? So like in my bedroom when I was doing this, I would do somersaults in the air. I'm like, ooh, this is cool. What else can I do? So I would keep asking myself, what can I do in this state? As far as that goes. And then it's like, oh, let's go downstairs and check it out. Oh, I wonder if they can see me. Hello, hello, can you see me? And the physical beings, like
Yeah, yeah.
the kid, the husband, yeah.
It's
It's like
almost
all
like
that.
you're a spirit. I mean, like you've crossed, but you really ain't because you're still attached to your body. You still have that attachment.
Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, it's for me, it was like, and like I said, the first couple times I was like, it's like I would like panic about it because it's like, oh, I'm not sure I can get back in my body. How do I get back in my body? But then after I played in my own house, literally in my own house, then it's like, oh, okay, let's see what happens if I go outside the house. And then let's see what happens if I fly. And then let's see what happens if I go underwater. And then the fact that I could breathe. So it's like, and then it's like from there I would set destinations. It's like, okay, so I would like to go to this destination, and I would get to go there and I would get to speak to the beings there and to really experience it. And to be
Wow.
honest, it's like I don't know if I got downloads or anything like that because I really wasn't looking for that. It was just the experience of just being in a different place.
Yeah, you're like an explorer. It's
Yeah,
so
it
cool.
was. Yeah, Dora the Explorer, Julia the Explorer.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
Like,
so
okay.
cool. Yeah, do you teach classes to teach people how to astral travel, or do you
No,
have
not to
you ever done that?
yeah, not to astral travel. I do a group transformation program that is I just started. This actually started this week. It's a 5-week program, and that's what I call spiritual infrastructure. And what we do is we end up merging with the hello, hello.
Hang on, I have a lot. Call your dad. It's my
So
daughter trying to come
in
through.
that, in the group transformation, in the group transformation program, how I was guided to do it is it's partially very structured, whereas we in the spiritual infrastructure, we're merging with the 3 levels of your higher self, and there's levels within those levels. We're merging with your Merkaba light bodies, and we're merging those 12 aspects of soul. We do that process, plus there's other processes that we do that really build your infrastructure to get in contact with your team, your guides, as far as that goes. And then depending on the group, the rest is organic. Spirit shows me, okay, for this group, we want you to do this, this, and this. And so if somebody wants, and it's interesting how, because I have them do a little questionnaire of how similar, it's like, oh, there's self-worth issues here. So we'll go into the Akash and we'll go into the chamber of beliefs as far as releasing that energy so that, we can get through that. So it just depends on what I'm guided for that. But the infrastructure, the spiritual infrastructure is similar, is actually the same for each group. And I've had people who have taken the group program more than once. And what they say is that each time they do it, they get a higher level of expansion of consciousness as far as that goes. So it's like, it's not something, it's a once and done. It's about those layers and just building those layers or peeling off those layers depending on what needs to be done.
Absolutely. That sounds so interesting and lots of fun. Because
Yeah,
for
because I
people
don't
who
take,
are beginning, they really need somebody to show them the way, the direction of how to do it safely so that they feel safe in their knowledge and wisdom on how to do it,
yeah, and it's an interactive, it's just audio. There's no visual as far as that goes, because that distracts. So it's audio, and I encourage everybody to ask questions and and with each other. So this group, actually, I have a total of 8, because that's the max. It maxed out, and I have 4 people who are repeating the class and 4 that are not. It's their first time. And Spirit said to me, oh, tag team. And I'm like, oh my gosh, seriously. So little do they know, they will be working with each other. A newbie will be working with one who's already taken it and doing some of this that I've done. And they'll be working with that so that they can develop their skill set that way. So they haven't showed me who's with who yet, because we just done the first one, and it won't probably be till the 3rd or 4th session that we do this. But it was like, yeah, and that's how I get the information, because it's like, oh, tag team, yeah. I'm like,
Oh, amazing.
How much fun?
Yeah,
what kind of fun are we going to have here?
So like the students become the teachers, and then they're able to teach others, and that's just how it works. That's what we're here for. That's what we do.
Right. So it's to empower them to do it. So it's like, so I don't know what process they'll do, but it'll be something that I've done, facilitated for them in the past, and now they're going to work with this, with the energies of the ones that it's like, oh, this is new. So what can I show? Let me show you how this is, and then they get a feel for what it feels like to be the facilitator as opposed to just the recipient.
I think it's going to spark a lot of souls to people who realize they have the teacher gene. You know what I mean? A lot of times you don't know you have it until all of a sudden you've got all this information that you want to share and help someone else with. And then you go, oh, shoot.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. I want to empower others to empower themselves to heal, but empower others to empower others. It's like, you don't know where your ripples go. And it's like, if you limit yourself, like you keep all your information like in a box, and it's like, oh, well, I'm not a secret squirrel type of girl, so to speak. It's like, I like to share how you do things, because there's so many people in the world. It's like, and everybody gets attracted to different people's energies. So it's like, if I empower 10 other people, and then they empower 10 other people each, it's like, it's amazing, because we really want to empower others to really raise their vibration, raise their frequency, so that we, get through this ascension process, this awakening process, which we are really in right now.
Right.
At a completely,
tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, and a lot of beings are just waking up right now, and they don't know what to do with their gifts or their energies or what's happening with them. So how can we assist? It's like, I can assist, yes, but there's many others that can assist. So if I can assist others with the knowledge that I've been given over the last 30 some years, it's like, then so be it. That's what I want to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. See what an amazing person you are. That's why I wanted to bring you on so that people knew that you're in this community and that they can reach out to you and they could take these classes and it's just what a blessing, and I'm glad that you came here today and was showcase some of your gifts. But you how long have you been in the community, in the AC New Earth AC community?
I'm thinking it's a little less than a year. I think like 8 months ago. I'm thinking somewhere around that. I'm thinking 6 to 8 months ago I
Yeah.
joined. It's hard for me to say, to
Oh,
keep
we're
track
pretty
as
new.
far as
We're
yeah,
pretty, we
yeah.
started,
So
I think, in March. In March last.
yeah, so I'm thinking sometime during the summer. I think I
Yeah.
came on board.
So you've been here for a little while. So, it's everybody,
Yeah, checking
we
it
want to
out, checking
showcase
it
you.
out.
Yeah. We want to show everybody what you do because there's
Yeah,
a lot of beautiful people here,
yes, one of the things I do want to say, I have stuff you can pay for, but I also have free services as far as that goes. So I have a YouTube channel. It's Julia Stubbe, the Galactic Channel, and in that there's energy healing processes. So there's tools for empaths, and it's like there's short little videos that are going to empower you to clear yourself as far as that goes. There's also light language transmissions that will do that vibrational healing for you. So those are available free. I also co-host a radio show, but right now we're on hiatus, and we're hope to be come the spring back online. It's called A Call to Heal. And with that, my co-host and I, we facilitate a healing for 3 of our callers live on the show. And again, that's going to be probably back, like I'm hoping April. My co-host is dealing with some health issues right now. And then the other thing that I do, if you go on my site and you look under personal sessions, there's a link there that allows you to get a free 10-minute session that in exchange for us to record it so that you can be on YouTube and Facebook, but it's a free 10-minute session. And it'll give you a taste of the energy and a lot 10 minutes. It's like I've done this for several others. If you go on the YouTube channel, my YouTube channel is called A Taste of Healing, and there's 4 different sessions out there that I've already done, but that's available free too. So it's like, it's like, so I'm giving back that way as far as to the community, but there's also, it's like it's like, people, we shouldn't, I don't want to get into that, but about whether you charge for your services or not. It's like, this is my livelihood. This is what I do full time as far as my life goes. And like for the radio show, that radio show wasn't free. So it costs like thousands and thousands of dollars to put that radio show on the air. And all the classes that I've taken and all the programs that I've taken weren't free. And so that 30 years of knowledge, has value. My time has value. And Spirit said, don't devalue yourself as far as what you're worth. And and then the other thing is, it's like also when people, I don't know if you find this or not, Bonnie, but a lot of times if you give stuff away, they don't value what you're giving.
Well, it's just energy. It's all about energy and flow. And if that's the reason why we do charge, because you send that energy out and then the energy comes back and it continues to flow, and you make it stagnant if you don't. Well, how we balance it is that we do some things that people can do for free, and then we also do things that they can pay for too, that balances that energy out. And so it just makes everything flow nicely. So and then all of our spiritual people, they know when to use the sliding scale when they have somebody that they
absolutely, I do that all the time. Really, and it's like sometimes I'm just guided to gift somebody, but or just like whatever they can, like, well, by donation, whatever you can afford here, as far as that goes. So it's like I go back and forth with that too, but it's like, but anyway, that's a hot topic for a lot of people. And
That's a good one
it
to
shows
have.
up, yeah, and when it shows up, like if it's a trigger for you, like if somebody says, oh, you shouldn't charge, it's like that's something inside yourself, your self-worth, that you need to look at yourself as far as what you need to look at to heal yourself. So
Right, and you also have to look at it as if you're charging something and that somebody can't decides they're not coming, it's because they're not supposed to. It's all divinely orchestrated. And you know,
mhm,
I don't
mhm.
know if most people, at least I know I do, uh, when I ask to the divine, what should I charge, you know, before I ever put anything on it. So, you know, they're always, if you're meant to be there, you'll be there. You'll find a way, you'll have the money, or you won't because you're not meant to be there. So it's just that really is a hot topic because people talk about that a lot, you know, with
Mhm.
spiritual
Yeah,
community.
I'd rather talk about that hot topic than politics, so I think I'm good.
Yeah, let's leave that out. We don't want any of that.
Woo!
No red flags here.
Woo!
But anyway, this is all about love, and I just wanted to show you some love, Julia, because I know you're out there working hard and trying to help people, and just you know just shining your light everywhere. And I just want you to know you're appreciated, and we're very happy to have you in the community and have people in the community know who you are that maybe want to reach out to you. So if they could to get a hold of you, what where would they go to get a hold of you?
Well, my website is juliastubbe.com. I'm sure you'll put it in the links, right? And my YouTube channel is Julia Stubbe, the Galactic Channel, and all the links to like the radio show, my YouTube channel are all available at my website. Again, that's juliastubbe.com. And that's the best place to get a hold of me. There's a place to be able to contact me there. And you can always, if you see me on Facebook and you just want to message me, you can do that as well. It's like I'm open to, communicating that way also.
All right. So this has been fun, Julia. And so we're gonna sign off now, and we'll have someone else from the community to talk to at a later date. So this is Bonnie Burd, New Earth Ascending Consciousness Community Chat, and we'll see you next time.
Again, thanks for having me, Bonnie.
You're so welcome.